Hello and welcome to CUBN Christians United Broadcasting Network. My name is Troy. This is CUBN News. You can get in contact with us at www.cubnlive.com. Alright. Now I'm going to read to you something that is going to be kind of complicated for me to read. It's something to do with the State Department of Court. I'm going to go really quick. And you can actually learn or not learn from it or make fun of me. The Aclj takes the State Department to court. The ISIS, Islamic State, genocide of Christians and other religious minorities is undeniable. It's horrific and it must end. Today, we filed a federal lawsuit against the U.S. Department of State to find out what is actually being done to stop it. After pressure from the Aclj and others, the Obama administration publicly recognized the genocide against Christians. An anonymous U.S. House of Representatives has too. So what the heck? So have numerous. What is this in code? Legal bodies and organizations. I can't read code. The brutal ISIS genocide against Christianity is expanding. They got codes here. Beyond Iraq and Syria, just like ISIS promised it would. Now 2 Catholic churches have been attacked during Mass. First in France and more recently in Indonesia. But we don't hear none of that. We don't hear none of these attacks. We only hear a little bit. We don't hear all the attacks because they're supposed to be taken care of, if you know what I'm saying. Media and on the ground reports. Let me go with the codes again. Reports stories of ISIS depravity. ISIS depravity and international leaders and organizations have begged the international community for meaningful, concrete action. Even Secretary of State John Kerry, after recognizing the genocide, called for action. But we don't see action. Instead, as we continually engage our government leaders, we are faced with this inescapable question. Is the Obama administration doing anything about ISIS genocide of Christians? What efforts is Obama's administration making at the United Nations? How is it advising? How is it advancing the cause within the international community? What steps is it taking to honor our international obligation and commitments under the Genocide Convention? Recently, the United States had an opportunity to exert its diplomatic influence at the United Nations Human Rights Council's 32nd session in Geneva. Unfortunately, President Obama's State Department utterly failed to do so. We know this because we were there. The Aclj attended the session through our international affiliate and credentialed NGO and European Center for the Law and Justice. We submitted an oral intervention calling for action to stop the genocide and protect the victims, including Christians. We heard what the Obama State Department said at this session, and we read the publicly released statements. They declined to call it genocide, and they ignored the Christians. Representatives from other nations spoke up and worked to move the ball forward. Other nations declared that the ISIS atrocities to be genocide and recognized that Christians were victims. The United States representatives did not. It is sad and it is embarrassing. The status quo is unacceptable. And it became clear that we must do more to hold our government accountable. So as we report, in July, we carefully drafted a series of Freedom of Information Act requests, all aimed at uncovering government records that would show any action by President Obama's State Department to respond to or stop the genocide. As we said before, it is our hope that the State Department will answer our request with documents showing it is engaging these issues and working to end the genocide. While we are grateful to Secretary Kerry and the numerous others who have declared the genocide is occurring, more must be done. Now is not the time for comfort or complacency, but for active compassion. It is the time for justice. The statutory deadline for the Obama administration response to our FOIA request has passed. It has failed to comply with statutory obligations under federal law, sending us only a vague, non-responsive letter filled with bureaucrats doublespeak. The Obama administration's response to our request simply confirms that stopping the ISIS genocide is low on its list of priorities, if it's even on the list at all. So we are taking the administration to federal court. Today we filed our lawsuit to force the Obama State Department to show what it has done to confront the ISIS genocide and protect the Christian victims, or confirm that it hasn't really done anything at all. The American people deserve answers. We must hold our leaders accountable. This is precisely what the FOIA process is for. Precisely. Things will not change until enough Americans demand a change. We must take action. This lawsuit is the latest step in our 7-point plan to stop the genocide and protect the victims, as we've explained before. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just ridiculous. We have sent key legal letters to the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, U.S. Permanent Representative to the UN Ambassador Samantha Power, the 47 member states of the UN Human Rights Council, and two letters to the Secretary of State, John Kerry. We've submitted key legal documents and made 2 oral interventions at the UN Human Rights Council. We also filled written observations regarding ISIS atrocities against Iraq Christians in a case before the European Court of Human Rights. We've seen results as Congress, the European Parliament, and permanently assembled the Council of Europe have passed genocide resolutions. Secretary Kerry recognized the genocides against Christians. A representative of the UN Secretary General Office raised the issue at the UN Secretary Council and numerous countries. Most recently, we sent a legal letter the United Nations Office of the Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide. We made the case again that the ISIS campaign of terror is in fact genocide and that Christians are among its victims. And we will not stop. We will continue our aggressive advocacy at home and abroad as part of our 7-point plan. We will continue working in Congress, at the United Nations, and with world leaders, and we will continue pressuring the Obama administration into action. How many times will we say never again? We have a moral and international legal obligation to act to stop this genocide and protect these Christians and other religious minorities. The United States should be leading the world. You can, ladies and gentlemen, I read this to you weirdly because it's in code, and I can't really get the code all situated together, which is what I should have did. But you understand what is going on. All right, our administration is basically looking at ISIS as some type of a comet that just hits the planet and explodes and just kills off everybody. All the people that are not up there, As long as the rich Arabians or whatever are safe, they're okay with it. So if ISIS started attacking these well-known places, then maybe the United States will step in because it's where the money is. We will only protect you if you got money. If you don't got money, we won't protect you. All right? These small little towns is nothing to us. All right? Let's just pray that Mr. Trump gets in and destroys this ISIS garbage. I don't know what. How many jobs does it have to be? I mean, these politicians and all these freaking, they make up jobs so they can have jobs. How you gonna get a representative here and a representative here of this and this? I'm a representative of the GNC, SAIC, LMNOP, and you got more kids. You got 3 more kids. You got cousins and stuff like that. We need a job. All right, we'll set this organization up here. We'll call this organization the Public House of Interpretation. And you'll be in charge of the Public House of Interpretation. Oh, you need a job? Okay, well, you're related to who? What politician? All right, okay, we got you a job. We'll give you a job. We'll name this the legal rights of institution of illegal factatious. And then they give all these people these jobs. And then when you want to get a piece of paper signed, you got to go order 500 people just to get it legalized. And when you finally get it legalized, the president look at it and go, I don't want to deal with that. That's just messed up. You need to situate that in our world today. In Jesus' name.